source of quality seed, and proper storage. The first thing a tomato farmer should do before farming is to find quality seeds. Quality seed has high germination percentage and produce vigorous seedlings which are uniform and pure. Quality tomato seeds can be obtained from certified agro-input dealers. Some of the commercial varieties for dry season tomato farming include Pectomec and Tropimec. The seeds must be stored in a cool, dry place away from water and sunlight. This is to maintain the viability of the seeds and avoid infection. It can also be stored in the fridge where available. Farmers should avoid buying or acquiring seeds from market women and farmers who wash seeds from fruits obtained from the market or from their farms. These may have seed-borne diseases, may be a mixture of different varieties, and the seed may not possess the features consumers are demanding. Quality seed should be obtained from authorized shops. It should be well labeled with name of variety, germination percentage, expiry date, and the source of the seeds, among other things. Selection of site for nursing. Site selection is key to good nursing and vigorous growth of seedlings. In this direction, the following must be observed. The site for the nursery must be close to a source of water. In the absence of a water source, the site should be easily accessible so that water can be transported to the site. The site should not be waterlogged. The soil should be well drained, friable loamy with high organic matter content. To ensure the security of seedlings, the site should be close to human settlement and it should be fenced to ward off animals. Nursery bed preparation. Preparation of nursery bed is critical and must be done to avoid disease infestation. The width and length of the nursery bed should be 1 meter and 3 to 5 meters respectively. The soil should be loosened and mixed with organic manure if available using a hand hoe. The bed should be leveled well to have a smooth surface and the edges of the bed should be well firmed. The seed bed should be raised or sunken. The raised bed is more suitable during the rainy season to avoid easy drainage of excess water and thus prevent flooding on the nursery. On the other hand, sunken bed is more suitable during dry season to prevent constant dry condition in the root zone of the seedlings. The bed should be sterilized with heat by burning dry grass to kill pathogens in the soil. Before burning the grass, the seed bed should be well prepared and water applied to make it moist, not wet. The dry grass must be spread on the well-prepared seed bed and fire set to it. The soil must be allowed to cool and the ashes incorporated in the soil before nursing of seeds. In order to ensure adequate cooling off of the soil, it is advised that farmers leave it to stay overnight. Nursing of seeds and management practices. Proper seed nursing and management practices enhance vigorous seedlings and keep seed-borne pathogens and insects at bay. In this regard, the following must be observed. Seed must be nursed in rows with row spacing of 20 centimeters. The seeds should be treated with seed dressers such as Dress Force 42 WS and Insecta T45. The manufacturer's instruction on the label should be followed strictly. The seed dresser protects the seeds from seed-borne pathogens and insect pests. The seed dressers also have both contact and systematic effects against pathogens and insects. It can therefore protect the young seedlings after germination against pathogens and insect pests. The seeds must be nursed thinly in rows to avoid overcrowding after emergence. Overcrowding can lead to outbreak of diseases such as damping off, and it eases the spread of disease with the seedlings. Overcrowding leads to competition for nutrients, water, space, and other resources. Competition among the seedlings for resources, especially for sunlight, result in excess growth in height and weak seedlings known as etiolation, which are easily damaged by pests and are prone to attacks by diseases. Cover the bed with grass and water immediately after nursing. The mulch protects the seeds which are undergoing germination from the drying effect of the direct sunlight. This helps to maintain the constant moist and relatively cool environment necessary for seed germination. Since the grass used for mulching could harbor pathogens and/or eggs of insect pests, the grass should be treated with insecticide and fungicide solution. Watering of the nursery should be regular to maintain moist conditions for the seeds to germinate. The seed bed should not be left dry, since it will not only affect the germination of the seeds, but also allow the colonization of the seed bed by termites. The seedlings will emerge between 4 and 6 days after nursing. Post-nursing management practices. Post-nursing management practices is cardinal in keeping the soil moistened and seedlings free from damping of disease. In this regard, the following must be observed. The nursery should be watered every day, but care must be taken to ensure that the bed is not wet continuously. There must be constant test of moisture content before deciding on what quantity of water to apply in order to maintain constant moisture conditions suitable for seedling growth. The soil moisture content can be assessed by trying to form a ball of soil. If the soil is able to form a ball when squeezed in your palm, it means the moisture content is enough. However, if it is not able to form a ball, then it means water must be applied. Too much watering will predispose the seedlings to damping off pathogens. Damping off is a seedling disease characterized by sudden death of young seedlings within the first week after germination. The grass mulch should be removed immediately after seedling emergence. If you delay in removing the mulch after seedling emergence, the stems of the young seedlings will be twisted as they attempt to emerge through the mulch to get access to sunlight. This results in weak seedlings that are also prone to pests and attacks by diseases. The removal of the mulch should be done late in the day to avoid sudden exposure to the harsh weather conditions during the day. A shed should be raised on the bed immediately after emergence to protect the young delicate seedlings from harsh weather conditions. The shed should be kept up to 2 weeks after emergence. Hardening of seedlings starts with the removal of the shed to expose the seedlings to direct sunlight. The seedlings are further hardened at 1 week to transplanting, where water application to the seedlings are limited to application of water on every other day. Beside damping off, other diseases that can attack tomato seedlings include early blight and fusarium wilt. Early blight causes a firing up of foliage over most of the tomato plants. As the disease progresses, leaves turn yellow, wither, and drop from plants. Early blight's control is based on crop rotation, removal and destruction of crop debris from previous crops, and timely application of fungicides. Fusarium wilt is caused by a fungus which works its way up through the plant roots, clogging water-conducting tissue in the stem. That prevents water from reaching branches and leaves, thus starving the plants. Often, the entire plant wilts and dies. This can be prevented by crop rotation, removal and destruction of crop debris from previous crops and infected plants, and the use of resistant varieties. Major insects and pests that attack tomato seedlings include whitefly and aphids. Both whiteflies and aphids directly suck plants, sap, and indirectly transmit tomato yellow mosaic virus disease, resulting in stunted growth, yellowing of leaves, leaf curls, and in some cases, deaf plants. Regular monitoring and application of insecticide is required to prevent their damaging effects on crops. The seedlings should be protected against diseases and insect pests by spraying fungicides and insecticides on the farm. Monitoring for the incidence of these major insect pests and diseases as appropriate measures should form the basis of pest management strategies at the nursery. Application of chemical pesticides, thus insecticides and fungicide, should be used to complement good agricultural practices. Application of chemical pesticides should therefore not be seen as the only solution to the pest and disease problem at nursery. Some of the recommended insecticides that could be used at nursery include K-Optimal, Confidor, and Lambda Super. Some of the recommended fungicides that could also be used at nursery include Ridomil, Topsin M, and Captan. The rate of application and withdrawal period for any chemical should be read from the label on the container. Strict observation of safety precautions is very necessary for chemical application. The use of insect-proof net to protect the seedlings right after removal of the mulch is one of the recommended practices. This is recommended for the elimination of insect pest infestation, most especially whiteflies and aphid, which besides their direct feeding effects, are also vectors of yellow tomato mosaic virus disease. Weeds should be manually controlled by hand pulling to avoid competition for resources such as nutrients, moisture, and water. A weeding nursery serves as breeding ground for insect pests and alternate host to major diseases of tomato seedlings. Thinning out can be done if the seedlings are crowded to avoid etiolation and its subsequent negative effects on the young seedlings. If organic manure was added, the seedlings will grow vigorously. However, if organic manure was not added, starter solution NPK should be applied at a rate of 25 grams per meter square at 1 to 2 weeks after emergence. Strict observation of these management practices will produce vigorous seedlings for transplanting.